Hello, everybody. Here we go. We're up and away again. 8 games left in the season. Welcome to your game day build-up. Got a big show today. Got everybody here. Can we continue our run and keep this run towards the top two going? Or are we going to hit a speed bump in the road? All this and more. This is your game day build-up. Bring it on. The whole crew.
We're here.
How are you, boys?
Good.
Fantastic.
Tell you what, I got to actually watch a bit of your show yesterday in between working. Had some pretty good fun stuff there yesterday, I must admit. It was very fun to watch.
Stats are great.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, let's face it, we're on the road down to Exeter. It's on today, and we have heaps of stuff to talk about. I mean, it's going to be pretty exciting. Can we get the job done? Can we not? It is going to be one of those days. I saw a couple of guys feeling nervous. I'm feeling confident. I think it's going to be a pretty good game, but who knows? Who knows? Let's have a quick look. I've got the massively surprising team here.
I have not looked at this yet.
Oh, it'll blow your mind. You'll never
It'll
guess.
blow your mind, Paddy.
Well, yeah. Okay.
What do you know? No changes. So, look, we can come back to our boys in a minute, and I will pop this out of here, and we'll get into it. Paddy, you've done some special stuff for us today. This game day build-up, it's getting a little bit professional. I don't know that we can keep this up.
Well, look, Josh said yesterday everybody loves stats, so I thought I'd just pull up a few stats, go back to a little bit of the power of stats. Why not?
Absolutely. So what do you got for us?
Okay, so first up, I'm going to hit the managers. We have Phil Parkinson, because I think over the season we haven't given him enough props. So let's give him a little shout out here. He has had us for 212 matches. Out of that, 131 wins, 40 draws, 41 losses, which over his entire reign is 2 points per game, which is huge. That, as we have said, is promotion form. And look, we have gone back to back. We are almost back. Another one for 3. So yeah, he is way up there, and that's a win percentage of 62% of all the matches.
That's unbelievable. 62% win percentage. It's probably it have to be. I don't know how you got 2 points per game. Is that because it feels like it should be better than that?
Yeah, but you only get 1 point for the draws, so it actually decreases it a bit. It balances out. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and that's the thing. It's not 1.5. It feels still a little bit different.
I mean, wow.
It's still big.
I mean,
yeah.
There is very few managers on the planet that would have those numbers.
Yeah, and Mr. Caldwell, for one thing, he has stayed with Exeter for quite a while, which doesn't actually happen that often anymore, with teams changing their managers again and again. So 133 matches. So that's 2+ seasons that he's been with them. 49 wins, 27 draws, 57 losses, points per game 1.3, which obviously is not amazing, but most teams are about 1.5-ish, somewhere around there. And then win percentage 37. So as expected, look, they're a lower team. We wouldn't expect their numbers to be as high. I just wanted to show off Parky a little bit, show him a bit of love. So I have one more slide, a couple more numbers, and then we move on. So next one there, I did some figures just for the teams versus each other. So we know we're in second with 74 points. Exeter is in 16th, down near the bottom, but will probably be safe from relegation with 45. Points per game, 1.22 for them, 1.95 for us. Then at home, this is an interesting one. So for us, we have 46 and we're second in the table. We know we're great at home. And they have 25 points when they're at home, which is today for them 15th. And then away for us, we only have 28 points and we're 7th for our away form. Now, the caveat being lately, we have had very good away form. We have improved recently just on that metric, but as a season, it's still okay, but not amazing. And for them, they have 20. So they're actually fairly even across their home and away form. Doesn't really seem to matter. They pull off wins at different times. But then if you compare their home, which is 25 points, and our away form with 28 points, those metrics don't look amazing. That's very similar form, giving us the negative advantage of away across the season. Look, recently we've been good. So interesting stat there to show that maybe it's not as simple as some of the metrics are saying. Clean sheets, they're doing actually okay with 14 clean sheets, which you might not expect for a team that low. We've got 19. We are first. So they have somewhat of a decent defense and decent keeper to be able to pull that many clean sheets. So kind of we're either going to hammer them or maybe they can pull off a nil draw or something. So they're not the simplest team to destroy. Possession, which is our favorite one, we are 18th in the league for possession with 47%. Loads of teams are between 47% and 55%. There's a huge amount in there. But they are 10th with 51.1%. And then yellow cards is another interesting stat that popped up here. They have 83 and they are 3rd in the league for yellow cards. So we were talking about Stockport last week. They were calling us cheats and all of this sort of stuff. Stockport had more yellow cards, more fouls, more everything than us, even though they were the ones saying that we are the cheats, which is interesting. But Exeter is one to watch for the yellow cards as well. They don't mind apparently throwing the boot in and pulling cards when they need to. So we can keep an eye on that today. And that's just some basics for today.
Cool. Look, that's awesome, Paddy. I really got some great stuff there. I just find this really interesting. And as per usual, Aaron, Paddy has come through for us.
That's right. He's here to spruce up the show, make it look a little better.
Yeah.
Almost like we know what we're doing.
It's funny. I just had follow up and they're showing the different ends of the ground and from the main stadium across, and there are tens of people in the stands right now. I know it's a sellout, so we'll obviously fill up, but that's really quite interesting. But they're showing it from all different angles, which is really good. But the nice little country ground, which I really like. But in terms of the Exeter lineup, here they are. Now, before we quickly get into that, just everybody knows there are 2 early games today, and Charlton are up 4-0 against Huddersfield. Huddersfield getting absolutely spanked. Can't believe it. And also Stockport's up 2-0 against Burton, which is not looking good for Burton in terms of relegation, but might be good for us in terms of them being, pretty much done and dusted by the time we get to play them in just over a week's time.
Yep, absolutely.
So, yeah. But anyway, here's the lineup for Exeter. And we've got Aaron is now our resident opposition team expert, I'm going to call it.
I don't know if I'm an expert, but we can look up some stats on him. We'll start in goal. They got Joe Whitworth. He's on low from Crystal Palace. So he's a young guy.
Let's hope he's really busy tonight.
Yeah, I hope he is. He's actually a really good keeper. He's probably, to be fair, he's probably their best player, or at least one of their best players. He's got a 7.07 rating. He's played 37 matches and he's kept 14 clean sheets. So that's some pretty solid stuff from a young goalkeeper. He's 21 years old, so he's a young guy. Yeah, his saves 111. His save percentage is 68.5, which is pretty good. Like I said, clean sheets 14. He's faced 4 penalties, and he's saved 1 penalty. So yeah, he's a really good, really good keeper. His pass accuracy 69.3, long ball accuracy 38.7, which is both pretty good stuff for a keeper. So that's Joe Whitworth. He's their keeper. He's, like I said, he's probably their best player. So let's go up into their back line, and we'll pull out Alex Hartridge. He's 26 years old. He's 6'1". He's got a 7.26 average match rating, which is pretty good. He's played in 15 matches, so he's not played a ton for him. I'm not sure if maybe they got him in January or if he just didn't play. Maybe there's an injury. I'm not sure on the reason he hasn't played more games. But yeah, he's a good defender. Tackles 1 percentage 68.4, duels 1 percentage 59.1, aerial duels percentage 62.4, interceptions 7, blocks 5. Yeah, he's been dribbled past 8 times, which isn't great, but he's a decent defender. He's not out of this world, but he's definitely a decent defender. And he has scored 1 goal, which I assume was from a set piece.
Yeah, hopefully Smithy and Rodriguez can cause him a whole heap of headaches tonight.
Yes, exactly. All right, so we'll move up into the midfield, and we're going to go with Ryan Trevitt, who is on loan from Brentford. So another young guy. He's 22. He's 5'7". He's more of a defensive-minded midfielder. Okay, so he's not going to be your attacking type. He's not got any goals, no assists. He's only played 9 matches, so I think he came in January. But he's decent little midfielder. Let's see if I can get the stats pulled
I had a
up.
bit of a look at Exeter. They're pretty defensive
Yeah,
oriented.
they are a defensive team.
Mm.
So yeah, here's some of his stuff. His possession stats. Touches 400. Touches in the opposition box only 18. He's been dispossessed nine times, and he's won 7 fouls. Defending, tackles 1 percentage 60%. Duels won only 37.2, which isn't great. Aerial duels won only 44%, but he's a midfielder, so he's not going to win a ton of hit in the air. Blocks 5, fouls committed 12, recoveries 41, dribbled past only 6 times, which isn't bad for a midfielder. And he's got 1 yellow card, no red cards. So decent little midfielder. He's not, nothing special, but decent young midfielder. It's still learning. And then finally, we'll go up front for their striker today, Josh McGinnis. He's a veteran. He's 6'2". He's 34 years old. He's been around the block.
Yeah, he's their captain.
Yeah, he is their captain today. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, he's a veteran. In a group of pretty young players, a lot of them. They need a guy like this. So he's got 5 goals this season. One of those was from penalty. He's got 40 shots, 14 of those on target, so not super accurate. Assist, he's got 3, which is good. That means he's creating 2 for other players, not just himself, which you want to see. Successful passes 270. His pass accuracy only 59.1, which isn't fantastic. His long ball accuracy 56.5. Cross accuracy 23.1%. Successful crosses 6.
Yeah.
His possession stats, his dribble success 67.9. Touches 801, touches in the opposition box 94, which is those are the stats you want to see for a forward. You want him touching the ball in the opposition box. He's won 28 fouls. So yeah, he's a solid player, good solid player. Obviously they're not a team. I mean, they're a team where they are for a reason. They don't have unbelievable players, okay, but they are a hard nose. They will defend, and they're a hard nosed team. So it's not going to be a pushover.
So it'll be interesting, Paddy. I mean, I don't expect them to be coming at us fairly hard tonight. Do you see anything in this squad that sort of think might surprise us?
No, not particularly. We have to be extremely solid in defense. And this is one of those matches where I think we're going to have to stay solid in defense for a long period and take our moments. Because when a team is weaker, like they still play at us, they're happy enough to hold the ball and have a go at it. And we tend to allow teams to do that. So we just have to be very careful not to give them the moments. They are only going to be looking for a couple of moments in the match that will get them the win as well. So we just have to be on our game, man. If we slip up, they might get in there. It's just one of those things.
I am sort of expecting more even possession tonight. Whether I'm right, time will tell.
I think so.
I guess but I'll come back to us and have obviously look at our amazingly dangerous, surprising team that we put on the field tonight of an unchanged lineup. I mean, so obviously Dobbo, trainer said he's fit. He says he's fit. Let's go play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the running. I mean, what are you saving him for? You know what I mean? If like we talked about last night, if maybe we were only 8 games into the season, maybe okay, let's give him a rest, let him heal up properly. But season's almost over. You know what I mean? Let's if he can play, let him play. You know what I mean? Get him in there and let's go.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, look, both the early games, which obviously there was a game yesterday. Leighton played Stevenage, and Leighton got that game up 1-0. And then this morning, Charlton at home to Huddersfield at 90+3, up 4-0. So Charlton have basically said, we're not done yet.
Charlton can win every match all the way to the end of the season and can still lose to us in second place because they've already slipped up enough that it's going to take them to be almost perfect to the end of the season and us to mess up a couple of matches as well.
I mean, but for that team tonight, that was a
good result.
We're going to spank Huddersfield and cement our spot in the top 6. I think would have been probably the mindset.
Yeah. It's a big bounce back. Big bounce back.
Yes,
big bounce back. I mean, they scored in the first minute and I think the 17th minute. I'm just bringing that up. Yeah, first in the 17th minute. So they were 2-0 up after 17 minutes. Then they've scored again in the 53rd minute, with Tyrese Campbell, again, his second. And then Lee Nichols has got a 60th minute own goal for Charlton. So poor old, and then Burton in the other game. So they're 90+2. Burton had just scored a late goal against Stockport away to bring it back to 2-1. So it's a bit of squeaky bum time right now, obviously, for Stockport. Burton's coming at them trying to salvage a draw. So it'll be interesting to see the finish of that game. And I noticed Bodvarsson didn't play this morning, but
injured.
Anthony Ford did. Yeah, and I didn't see whether James was So literally only Anthony Ford that went to Burton got a run tonight.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of the table, that actually did do some interesting stuff in terms of the table, which was I found that also quite interesting because it moved Charlton and Stockport both up 69 and 68 points and leaves Huddersfield stranded on 61 points, already 13 points behind us. So the last playoff spot is currently 13 points behind us. If we get a win tonight, 16 points, that's a long way up.
Yeah. So you still got Reading to play today and Bolton, who could both actually leapfrog Huddersfield. Bolton can go to 63, and Reading can go to 62. So that would still have them in 7th, but depending on what Bolton do. But yeah, but Huddersfield could drop a couple places out of the playoffs today with that loss. So that playoff, that race for that last spot is heating up. And I would say today, I mean, Stockport and Charlton really kind of looking like they've cemented themselves in the playoffs. Like this was big for them. I mean, it's not guaranteed. There's still a lot of games left, but that they got to feel pretty comfortable, right now.
Yeah. Full time there now for Charlton v Huddersfield. So that's it, 4-0.
Yeah.
And then the big one
has just gotten a red card in the Stockport v Burton game. So interesting whether that is a penalty or not. I don't know. I have to keep my eye because I'm not watching it. I'm just watching the scores update. Yeah. So keep an eye on that. But I guess, are we looking in the wrong direction? Do you think we should be looking up? I mean, we win till Burton lose.
Well, no. First of all, we haven't spoken about Wickham playing today because obviously they're the ones right behind us. Yeah. So we've been talking about the playoff spots, but Wickham is actually closest to us. So that's the one we should be most important. And in theory, they have an easy game today. So look, we're expecting a win from them, and we just have to do our jobs.
Yeah. Well, interesting.
Just take out another match.
I mean, I learned so much yesterday because I was actually, listening to this great channel, the local pundit. The boys were talking about easy games versus hard games, and the run of some of these teams. And Exeter has had a really easy run lately. Mm-hmm. You boys were talking about that yesterday. I found that really interesting.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They've gotten into some decent form, but they've been playing teams towards the bottom of the table. So you would expect now for them, those are teams that are around them because they're also at the bottom of the table. So those are important. It's important for them to get those wins, to keep yourselves out of trouble. But
I'll tell you what we haven't done. We haven't really put many. I know, Paddy, I think you put a chat up for us earlier, but let's just quickly hello to everybody in the chat.
Yes.
Esteban's querying Patrick Oden. Wait, Josh is getting a tattoo, and then where is it? Yes, Patrick has. This is another classic comment from our fearless leader. With 8 games to go, I think it might have been said with 9 games to go. If we get an unchanged lineup for the rest of the season, someone might be sort of getting like an unchanged 11 tattoo.
Yeah, I remember a comment now.
Yeah, that's another one of those Josh foot and mouth, moments.
And in pre-production, I was saying to Aaron, if we get to like 2 games to go and it's still an unchanged 11, I am reclipping that back up and posting it everywhere daily.
Well, in fairness to some other seasons, though, I think it's been very late in the season where he's decided on his 11. Where there have been some seasons in the past where certain players were basically decided halfway through the season, and we were all saying that he's going to play them until they break. So we don't really have that scenario at the moment. Like you were saying with Dabo there as well. It's like, maybe a little rest here and there might not hurt, but none of us think like the players are being played to breaking point at this point of the season.
No.
And I just look, there's some comments I just can't put up because people keep giving me shit about if my name gets put in there, I'll put the comment up and I will say thank you. I will say good morning or good evening to wherever you are in the world.
What, that one? That one?
Yes. Well, I guess that can be taken a bit of both ways because, like I can only work with what I've got, Sarah. So are you saying that this is as good as you're ever going to look?
Oh, the old silver fox. Silver fox.
I don't know about that. I'm just working with what I got. But I'll tell you what, they're playing some extra time in this Stockport Burton game. It's 90 plus 9, still 2-1. So, I mean, and we've got plenty of time, which is why, and Paddy mentioned it, Wickham, I mean, the other games tonight, let's have a look at some of the other games. Well, obviously we've got Reading are at home to Peterborough. I am actually I'm interested in that game. Cambridge, Northampton. I'm actually interested, even though it's the bottom of the table, that game could really seal the fate, especially if Burton lose here. That could be the bottom four done.
Yeah.
If Northampton get up against Cambridge. Blackpool at home to Bolton is another interesting game. Bolton's got to get a win. Wigan Athletic, Barnsley, don't care. This is me. Birmingham at home to Shrewsbury. Go Shrewsbury, go. We're going for the flag, guys. We are going for the flag.
Until it's mathematically impossible.
Yeah.
Which won't be long, guys. Won't be long.
Bristol Rovers at home to Mansfield. Oh, there you go. It is full time. Stockport have gotten up 2-1 against Burton, so that does not help Burton's case at all. Rotherham are at home to Crawley, and Bristol home. So I mean, it really is the Lincoln City game, isn't it, tonight?
Yeah. And Lincoln City, I mean, we can go into that real quick.
They're not a bad team.
They're not terrible. I mean, you would I would expect Wickham to win this game, but Lincoln has pulled out some really good results lately, and they've scored some. They've got some big scores they've put up. So they pull up some of their matches here. So they drew last week against Exeter. Then the game before that, they beat the brakes off of Bristol Rovers 5-0. Then before that, they lost to Birmingham, which 1-0. So it wasn't like Birmingham blew them out. But I don't think Lincoln was ever really in that game. But then before that, they beat the brakes off of Crawley 4-1.
Yeah.
When they play their game, they can score. Absolutely,
yes,
they can score. Yeah,
and they lost their game before that to Barnsley, but they lost at 4-3, so they were still scoring goals. They're a dangerous. They're a dangerous team. So I would expect Wickham to get a win today, but Lincoln's a team that they can pop up and cause problems for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of fun banter happening in the chat too. I'm good to see everybody having some fun. We've got 108 people in here already, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got a big day today. You've got our fearless leader coming up for the watch along in 20 minutes or so, and then we've got the extra time call-in show, and both you boys are up tonight, aren't you? Before Aaron goes on family duties for the rest of the year.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the game plan.
But I mean, look, it's every game's important now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. That's what we were talking about last night. I'm not I'm confident we can get a win, but I'm nervous because of how important these games are now. If that makes, you know what I mean? I know we can win this game and we should win this game, but I'm nervous that because it's such an important game, and all of them are important.
They are. But if you're looking on the stats, and if you want to just look at it in that basis, I said that pretty much every 2 matches we need 4 points. We got 3 points in the last one, which was a difficult match. Now we have an easier match, and if we end up drawing this one, in theory, that's fine. That will see us out to the end of the season if we get 4 points in each 2. So it's not the end of the world if we draw tonight. We are going to slip up somewhere against someone, but the longer we leave it in the season for that to happen, the better. We want to push it out, drop those games, get that down so that it's virtually impossible to do anything. No more runway.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that table does look really pretty right now with us sitting in second spot, and I'd like it to stay that way.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, the thing is, at the moment, technically, the team that has the season in their own hands is Wickham. Technically, they win every game. They've got a better for and against. They'll finish second. The likelihood of them doing that is highly unlikely.
It's a horrible run in for them.
Yeah, it's tough.
So I think that their slip up is almost inevitable.
Yeah.
In terms of even a draw, ours is, like all we have to do is win 8 games in a row, guys. Simple.
Yeah, John made an interesting point last night about Stockport being the last match for Wickham at the end of the season. And he was saying there's no way Stockport is going to actually play a full strength team because they'll be prepping for the playoffs. And that is a valid point. But look at where Stockport are right now. It's very tight at the back end of that table. So in theory, from that respect, you want 7th place to be able to jump over 5th/6th. You want that tightness because that would force Stockport to play a full strength team. If they do not have a guarantee that they can stay in the playoffs, that would actually mean there's no shot that they can go weak against Wickham.
Right.
So we'd like to see both Bolton and Reading winning tonight because, I mean, Stockport's on 68 points there. 7th place is 60 points, 8 points behind them.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we've been talking about teams being 6 points behind us and, they're not going to catch that. Well, I mean, if you take that logic to Stockport, 8 points behind Stockport, they're never going to catch them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody like and subscribe, get on the channel. We're on our way to 2,000. We want to get there before the end of the season. So everybody get in there, start liking it. Let's get the like numbers up and, share it if you want to your social medias and all that good stuff. Hit the alarm bell so you know when we're coming on and when we go live, because occasionally we just pop up with something random. You never know. Never know when we're going to pop on. So get that alarm.
This is the local pundit and the global pundit. It's all happening, and anything is possible here.
Yeah, anything is possible.
It's okay? So from our lineup tonight, are we sort of thinking we're gonna? I mean, in terms of tactics, do you think we're going to see same old, or we got anything up our sleeve tonight?
No, I think we're going to see what we usually see. I do think there's a chance we may see more of the ball today. I wonder if they're going to sit back and try to defend, and because for them, 0-0 is a good result. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Any point is good for them.
Yeah, and so they, it's very possible that they might just sit back and defend.
Okay, so play that scenario out, and we do get more possession, which I agree. I think we're going to get our fair share of possession tonight. I mean, coming forward, is it more of coming down the wings? Is it, are we hoping to see maybe something a little bit more through the middle?
I think we're going to start seeing more of that. I do think there is, with this formation change and the way he's asking the wingers to play, I think we are going to see a little more through the middle. I think we're still getting there. We don't do it all the time, but there has been, our wing backs have been cutting inside more. And with that second striker playing in behind, that puts an extra person in the middle, and for us to play it through the middle instead of just lumping balls in from the byline, and big long crosses in like we used to. So it does seem like we are trying to do something a little different. We'll see how much different, how different it really is.
I'm going to put this up because I find this quite funny.
Okay.
Leap and Lepus, Sarah, different tactics. Emoji face laughing.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's not different tactics because this is what they have been trying. This is what Parky has been trying to do across the last 6-8 matches, basically since Christmas. He has been trying this tactic. He's been trying to get more through the middle as well, because if we can actively get it through the middle, we also have the wings available to us. So it's an extra attacking dimension. We just haven't been doing it very well, is the simple fact. So we're not saying he's going to do anything different. We're just hoping they're getting better at it. And with a weaker team today, they might be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see Longman cutting inside a little bit more tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, just coming at the players rather than just the standard crosses from out wide. Hopefully Rathbone also a bit more aggressive through the middle as well. Is sort of the 2 points I'd like to see. Ultimately, all I want is the win, but
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Smith seems to be extremely weak at heading the ball, because we do seem to have lost a little bit of the ability of crossing it in and getting a nice head on it. That has been missing a bit until Fletcher gets on. As soon as Fletcher gets on, you see the danger in crosses coming in, because he is getting close to getting ahead.
I've been saying it all season. We should be starting Palmer.
Yeah, because he's fast enough to get on the end of it.
Shoot.
So yeah, it's just. I mean, look, it's I'm watching that I follow here. The stadium's definitely starting to fill up. It's only 15 minutes till kickoff now. So I mean, it's. I just feel like, you know, like you said, it's Sammy Smith, weak in the air, great on the ground, has got one left foot and the other foot is just used to stand on.
That's true. That's true. You know what though? He works his tail off. He works his tail off.
Well, he reminds me a lot of Mullen in that respect.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
You know, they both work hard off the ball.
Yeah, he's just a little. Where he varies from Mullen is he's just bigger physically, and so he can be a little more physical with the other players, where you don't see that as much with Mullen, because he's not quite as big.
Also, Smith is willing to go at a defender with the ball at his feet, where Mullen seemed to be a little bit more. Mullen was more get myself in space to receive the ball away from a defender.
Sideways movement and try and get it around them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really feel like we've had a couple of really nice upgrades up there, and not like blow you away, but upgrades, but definitely an improvement for us. And it showed just in our results and how well we've gone. You know,
if we can play at a similar level as our last couple of away matches, we will win this fairly comfortably. We just need to repeat those performances, because it has been a massive step up in the last few.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, look, getting to this end of the season, you're less likely to get those mental lapses. You know, back in February and January and December is when those mental lapses happen in the middle of you're in the dog days in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
It means too much now. The players know that. The players know lapses of judgment here and loss of focus is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're literally trying to create history here this season now.
Yeah.
You know, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's never been done at this level. That's how big an achievement it is. I mean, I know you boys did talk about it, and it's not a conversation for today. We'll carry this is the Sunday session, but tell you what, the numbers are astonishing. Really,
mind blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy numbers.
Yeah, and you know, when we so guys, don't forget that will be our Sunday session main point of topic, and we'll be talking about obviously how we won 5-0 tonight and Birmingham lost 4-1, and how we're going to run them down. So just in case you didn't, sorry for the spoiler on the results for today, but that's how it's going to roll.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, I'm just excited for tonight's game. I want to see a good effort on the pitch. I want to see some attacking prowess. An early goal, I think, really is required here. We need a goal in the first half tonight.
Yep. Early goal, get up, and just hammer them.
This has been said for a while. We have not put a team to the sword for a long time. You know, two goals is not putting someone to the sword, because they score one and immediately it's not comfortable anymore. So we really need to kind of step up our game and make a couple of these matches look comfortable against the weaker teams, because this is something we've been missing in other seasons. I know we got the job done, but we have not looked comfortable just taking out easy teams for a long time. And we need to do this a little bit more now.
Well, it's funny you say that, Paddy, because I think the last team that wasn't that was a league game that we beat quite comfortably, 3-0, Exeter.
Exeter. Yep. Exactly.
So can we do can we double it up? Can we back it up and do it again? I guess is the big question.
And the other thing you mentioned slightly earlier was the goal difference. If we can pull it off, we need to get rid of the goal difference between us and Wickham as well.
Yeah, well, what is it?
Just in case. 6.
6 goals difference.
I think it's 6. 6 is doable.
They've got 28. We've got 22. Yeah. If we brought that back, you're right. If we could bring that back, that would be that changes the dynamic then.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's very interesting. Well, boys, look, it's just on 10 minutes, nearly 10 minutes to kick off. I'm going to get last thoughts from you boys for today. Aaron, what have you got for us? What are you thinking?
My big takeaway today is we just got to show up and play hard. Effort. Yeah. We can't have one of those where we just show up and we just look blah and everybody's slow and the boys got to be turned up and they got to go hard, and I think we'll be just fine. We'll be just fine.
Yeah.
If we show up and actually play hard and lose the match, I actually won't mind so much. If we go into a boring old school away match performance and come out with a horrible draw, I won't be as happy. We need to show that we are going to hit the end of this season hard.
Yep. I don't like the lose bit, Paddy, but I understand you. That. So, but now, guys, don't forget, like and subscribe if you haven't. Obviously, get ready for Josh. He's about to come on for the watch along. Get in there, watch him go nuts. Watch him tear his hair out, do all that fun stuff, and then have your say after the match. Get in with these boys for extra time with Paddy.
Extra time, maybe.
Yep. And that will be interesting. And when we have the win tonight, get in there, have your say. And look, let's go Wrexham. I think that's it, boys. Want everybody get over to the watch along. So on that bombshell.
Let's
go. See you later, guys.
See